Is off and running, as I said, with track and field. The Tokyo World Championships gets on the way between September 12 and 21. And we'll have live and exclusive coverage, of course, on TVJ, TVJ, One Spot Media, and of course, right here on Hitz 92 FM. One of the experts, as we said, David Riley, he wears so many different hats. President of Jatafka, he's coach of this and coach of that, but he's working with us for this World Championships. We're going to get his expert opinion on the chances of the field event athletes at this upcoming World Championships. David Riley, welcome, sir.
Well, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, man. We love to talk to the experts, and you are one of them. All right. We lost a couple.
Always disturbing my training time.
And you always accommodate us. For that, we're truly grateful.
Okay, no problem.
I'm going to do this as quickly as possible, sir. I want to set you free. All right, so the last Olympics, we saw where we got a number of medals in the field, outshining the athletes on the track. What are the chances of a repeat of that at the Tokyo World Championships?
That's a bittersweet reminder there, because those athletes, no longer represent Jamaica. But we're certainly looking for continuous growth in our field event performances. As we try to really look like a mature track and field country where we have medals coming from various events. And we want that because the medals actually indicate a high level of skill acquisition of the athlete. So every event requires some skills, some mastery of the skill. And so an athlete who goes out there and get a medal at a world championship or an Olympic would be among the best who've ever done it. And so the opportunity is for us to continue to develop those skills within our athletes, and that eventually they'll become the best of the best. So we're trying to be a really mature track and field program with broad participation in all the events. And so we're looking forward to that being visible in our field event athletes. And so we have a wide range, and even in the hammer throw. We have a wide range of participation at these World Championships. And that means that athletes who are coming up can look on and say, well, regardless of what event I choose, then there is a path for me to get to the World Championships or the Olympics. And that's very encouraging for somebody who has to do the work on a daily basis.
Okay. And in terms of where we are in comparison to the rest of the world, for us to not only participate but to compete and get a chance at a medal, how far are we? Let's start on the ladies' side. How far are we from hanging with the big guns?
Well, I mean, we're hanging with the big guns in the triple jump with Shanika Ricketts. And so that's an area that we have gotten medals and consistently. I mean, Trisha Smith won that event, the triple jump, years ago at the World Championship out of Manning High School. And so we have been hanging with the best. This time around, we have not just Ricketts, who is 6th rank going into the meet, but also the young Akila Smith, who is a long jumper, triple jumper. Good to see that she's continuing the dual participation in these two events. Going forward, she also does the long jump. She's a long jumper, triple jumper, and she's within the top 8. So, I mean, we could have 2 Jamaicans in the top 8 there. Of course, Akila had the very disturbing situation with the fall board of the long jump. And of course, that led to a whole heap of discussion about the changes in the event, not just in her case, but all the other events that the situation that took place at the World Championship. So Akila and Shanika will be carrying the banner for Jamaica in those events. The other events, long jump, we usually there, but not great on the female side. You have to be close to 7 meters to really make a statement, and we've not produced a lot of athletes in that band. Akila is the only long jumper we have going there. A well decorated athlete. I mean, she's won at NCs. She's won at our national championship. She's 3 times national champion. And of course, last year she was 8th. In Paris. And so it's going to be difficult for her, but having a Jamaican in the competition is important for us to continue to remind the world that we're there and our athletes are coming through.
Right.
So on the female side, those will be the 2 best prospects for us. Of course, Discus in the high jump. And of course, she was 5th in Budapest.
Right.
Third, she did 1.94 meters, and third was 1.99. So the high jump is so, you could jump the same height, but on comeback you finish outside the medal.
Right.
So it's about having a clean sheet and really going out there and perform under the conditions. Because if the conditions become terrible, they're not going to halt the event.
Right.
So it's performing in that moment and seizing the medals. And we saw that with Brandon at the World Under 20, where he won the gold medal just after the race started. Everybody freaked out, don't want to jump on his wet back, and just keeping his composure, cleared and won the high jump with a lower than expected height that one would predict to be the winning height at that meet. So it depends. The high jumpers are kind of prima donnas. They want everything to go right all the time, and if somebody walks past behind the bag, it throws them off. All kind of things. Just huge concentration. They like things to just flow exactly how they see it in their mind. So a ton of things could throw somebody off. But if you're focused and determined, really could make a big difference between getting a medal or just finishing outside a medal. So those would be the main persons getting in there on the female side.
Mm. Well, one of the big names that would normally factor to be in the running for a medal or close to the medal would be Daniel Thomas Dodd. She's not there this time around. The specifics behind that, was that made clear?
No, the fact that she's, as far as I know, she's withdrawn. She would have been our best shot with a 19.32 meters.
Right.
Performance this season, but she's out, and that we just have to accept it for what it is. Unfortunately, she won't be there, but of course, Lydrika Cameron will be carrying our banner there. She's been to several of these World Championships, and hopefully this time around she can make the finals and make sure that Jamaica's presence is there in the finals of the shot women.
The other names on the female side would be Nayoka Clunis and Samantha Hall.
Yes, Nayoka in the hammer throw, the NACAC champion, going to the World Championships and hoping to improve on her season's best, which is a bit off, what the medals are. Hammer throw is huge. She's still she's still learning the event, and so we're hoping for her to improve on her best so far this season, which she did back in May, just over 71 meters. So it's going to take close to 80 meters to really do some damage in the hammer throw. Samantha, of course, she's also the NACAC champion in the discus, and she's now just outside the mere 16th or 17th rank in the world, going into the competition, and close to 65 meters therefore. But of course, you need to be a lot further than that to challenge for a medal. But the experience is good. Samantha has been carrying us at these major championships, and hopefully, in her case, she'll be looking to better her best performance at these World Championships.
Okay, all right. So that's it. Those are our chances on the women's side. On the men's side, now we are a little bit more optimistic that we can collect some medals on this side. Where is our best chance on the men's side in the field?
That would be between the long jump and maybe the triple jump, and maybe in the discus with Ralford Mullings. Mullings, of course, would have done his duties at the under 20, winning medals there, coming through, and really making huge progress. Ralford was at the World Under 20 in 2023. So, you know, to think that 2022, yes, 2022. So to think that he's there now, really rattling fellas at the senior level, over 72 meters, so barely 72.01 meters, fifth rank going into the World Championship, making huge progress. And of course, it's the 2K disc that they're throwing, and to have stepped up from the under 20 and to be as competitive as he is, he's looked very good. He's looked very good. Of course, you know, he beat Dona in the last competition there, and looking well composed. Definitely built for this event, and we're loving what we're seeing. Of course, Discus is there as well. Discus 66 meters this season. Always can't count out Discus. Huge.
True.
I mean, he's accustomed to the big stage. Can't pull off a throw, and you only need one throw. I mean, they measure just your best. You know, you get 3 in the first round, and you come back. If you're among the 8 best, you get 3 more. But really, just one throw you need. So we're looking for him to really pull off something, and it's not something out of his potential. Not sure where his fitness level is, but we're looking for a very competitive performance from him. Chad Wright is also there, a late addition, so to speak, to the team from the World Athletics rankings and the entries and so on. He would have been the last person been added to the team. So he will be there. So 3 Jamaicans. It's always a little easier when you have company out there in competition. It helps to keep the nerves down and that you have a little bit of strength from your teammates, even though you're competing against them. But the familiar faces help to keep you calm and focused. And athletes deliver their best performance when they're calm and relaxed. So the presence of the other Jamaicans will help to make that possible. And it's easier when you have company. So Ralford would be our best shot in the discus. And as I mentioned, Jordan in the triple jump looking very good all season. The Cubans are back, even though they're not wearing the Cuban colors. You know, I mean, this is really, really interesting. And Jordan is one of 4 persons who've gone over 17.40 meters in the triple jump, and this is a really, really good space to be. Triple jump, of course, you have 3 opportunities within the jump to improve on your distance. You hop, you step, and you jump. So a little improvement on each phase can really make a big difference in the overall distance that is measured. And so you could have an individual move from 17.50 to 18 meters in just the season.
Yeah. So
once you're there in that area, I mean, you could very well on the day just really get a good footing on the board and just deliver your hop, step of your jump, and pull it off. Jordan is number 3 ranked going into the World Championships, and he has been doing very well on the Diamond League circuit. And definitely, when he walks into that space, eyes are turning, looking, and that will give him some confidence.
Let me ask you about Jordan and his form, because he started the year hot and getting personal best, and as you said, winning on the Diamond League, but it looked like he took a break, like he took a month off. How would that affect him heading into next week's championships?
Well, it's good because competition tends to interrupt your training schedule. If you want to, focus on preparing for the major championships, then you really want to do training where you can work on your technique. You can go back in the gym, get stronger, more explosive. But you need when you have competition, you have to, kind of cut back on some of those things because you don't want to go to the competition and being heavy and tight and unable to perform. So if you can step out of the competition and go back to training, that is still something that a lot of athletes don't want to do. Especially if they really want to leave the World Championships doing something special. So I'm not particularly concerned about that. Jordan is a very smart guy. I mean, Campton and Virginia. I mean, he knows the events. He's definitely a student of the sport, and I'm sure he's preparing himself to do something special for Jamaica.
All right. So if we were to, did we leave out anybody in the long jump we had?
Long jump, of course, for Tajay Gill, Kieran McLeod, and Nikolai Williams. Those are the three represented. Tajay, his best 8.69 meters back in Doha. Hasn't gone there since, but I mean, a world champion is a world champion, and coming through. The interesting thing about the long jump is that the long jump has been kind of not where the big wigs would think that we need to be. I mean, once you jump over 830, you look like you're almost in the mix. When years ago 830 was just like not even making anywhere near the podium. But now, I mean, we're still going through this phase where the event is not having that superstar. 865 10 Togolu is the best so far this season. But that's not particularly far. When you hear people like Carl Lewis and Paul talk about London, I mean, they're incensed at the fact that the guys aren't jumping further than that. But 8.3, 8.2, those are competitive performances. And just going out there on the day, I think 8.40 will get you a medal at these World Champions. Tajay, number 3 rank going into the competition. Kerry at 8.38. Number 7 rank going in. It should be an interesting competition for the Jamaicans. They're very competitive. Of course, we're missing, we're missing Pinnock, yes, but that has its own story. And so we'll go in there and hopefully we'll do well and continue where we were. I mean, last World Championship we had 3 Jamaicans in the top 4.
Yes.
So when you think about it, we have established ourselves as one of those countries that can produce some of the best there is in the long jump. We have a lot of speed, and speed is the most important factor to the distance. And so we're taking it to the long jump runway and launching into the pit. So we're looking forward to the Jamaicans doing very well in the long jump.
All right. So if I was to take a safe and calculated guess or bet or best chances, and this is me saying it, Shanika, Ralford, Jordan. Anything outside of that is gravy, is bonus.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I got you to agree with me. Wonderful. That means I'm not sounding too stupid then. All right, so Shanika Ricketts in the ladies triple jump.
Paying attention. Don't worry.
I am paying attention in class. So that is our modest hope. And if anything outside of that, we will take it. But realistically, and in terms of form going in and expectation, Shanika Ricketts, Ralford Muddin, Jordan Scott, anything else we take as brought up. All right, so we'll work with that. I'm going to release you now. I don't want to hear that I'm holding up your training any longer. So thank you as usual, sir. We look forward to having you here on set next week so we can continue the dialogue and look ahead to the championships.
It is my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. All right, so that was David O'Reilly. It's always bothering his training at 5 o'clock. It's not my fault, coach. I forgot to tell you it's Daniel. So, because Daniel will deceive. Track and field analyst and coach and president of Jatafka giving us his expert opinion on, going into the World Championship, the field event aspect, as you heard. Greatest hopes lie right now in Shanika Ricketts in the women's triple jump, Ralford Munn in the men's discus, Jordan Scott in the men's triple jump. We take anything else outside of that, but we take these three. We will take a break right now. When we come back, we talk some football with Andrew Price looking ahead to tomorrow's World Cup qualifying. The Reggae Boys up against Bermuda.